Hello. Hello, you are welcome. Please share to your friends. Let them know we are live. Share to your friends, please. Let them know we've started. Please share. Invite someone. If you're here, let me see you say hi. Let me know you're here. Say hi, please. Let's know you're here. Okay, let's see. Today we are treating a very important topic. We are treating a very important topic, which is how to prepare for marriage. How to prepare for marriage. Hello. Let's wait a little bit and see our friends will join us. Tell your friends that we are here. Topic is how to prepare for marriage. How to prepare for marriage. Under the subtopic, we'll be treating preparing your heart for marriage. Preparing your heart for marriage. Subtopic, I'm putting it in the chat. Preparing your heart . Preparing your heart for marriage. Marriage is a very important and crucial part of our lives. It is an ordinance that was created by God. It is an institution which God Himself created. And today we want to know, how do we prepare our hearts for marriage? If one says, oh, I want to get married, how do one prepare for that marriage? And we are looking at preparation here as getting ready for something. You know, when you are preparing to make soup, or when you are getting ready to make food for your family or for yourself, you have things to prepare. You have to prepare for the soup. You have to gather some ingredients for it. You don't just start making food like that. You must have thoughts in your head. Okay, what am I going to put? What is it that I'm going to add together? You know, to make this soup a delicious one. Or you're preparing for a journey. Maybe a month's journey. You know you're going to be staying away for a month. You're going to be taking some time to prepare for it. Like, you're going to take like weeks to get ready to pack your bags for the journey ahead. You don't just start preparing a day before the journey. If not, you're going to miss out in some items. You might forget some things. That's why marriage is important, that you prepare for it ahead of time. Because it is a lifetime journey. It is a lifetime journey that you don't just want to be in a rush. You don't just want to be in a rush for it. That's just the honest truth. You want to take your time, take years ahead to prepare for it. The right time to even prepare for marriage is from your teenage age. When you're a teenager, that's when you start preparing, not a month to the wedding or a night before it. You're panicking, you're trying to get things ready, get your mind ready and all that. No. You're going to have a failed marriage. Look at what's going on in our society. A lot of men and women are not prepared for it. They just go into marriage thinking that it's the type of the dating relationship they had, that is the same thing. Then why not ask yourself, why is it that people date, they cut for 10 years, 15 years, 5 years, but once they come under the umbrella called marriage, they have a problem? Why is it that a boyfriend and girlfriend can cohabit without any issue, but once they say, okay, let's just tie the knot, let's just do it in a proper way, you see they start having problem? Why? Because they didn't prepare their hearts for it. So today we are looking at preparing your heart for marriage. First, you have to know that marriage is sacred. Marriage is sacred, my brethren. That's why you must take years to prepare for it. You must prepare your heart for it. Why I chose the heart is because the heart is the number one thing that the enemy targets whenever he wants to penetrate. Your heart determines if you're going to forge ahead or not. So you have to first think it, get prepared for this life journey you're going to be making, you're going to be committing. Because see, we have two people in a marriage, and once you come together, you're giving each other your lifetime. Let's say you got married at the age of 20. So for the rest of your life, like about 70 years or 50 years of your life, you're going to be spending it with the other partner. The other person is the one that will control you, that will control your life for that 70 or 50 years of your life that you're going to be living for the rest of your life. So that's why it's important that you don't just rush into marriage. You prepare your heart, because it is a lifetime commitment. You don't just want to hop in and hop out. This is not a boyfriend or girlfriend relationship. You have to also be open to learn and unlearn certain superstitious beliefs that you have known all these years, that maybe the tradition that has come into your head to stay, they are not biblical, they are not righteous, they are not the Holy One, they are not approved by God. What are they? For example, that you have to get pregnant for a man before you get married. Or that once you get married, you are the only one to, the woman is the only one to cater for the family. She's the only one to take care of the children. She's the only one to cook the food, to do the house chores and all that. That's not it. Or for the men, certain culture will tell you are not allowed to go into the kitchen. You're not allowed to wash clothes, to cook for your wife, to do all this romantic stuff for her that she's supposed to be suffering in the marriage. So you have to unlearn certain superstitious beliefs, certain traditions that has come to stay in your head. You have to unlearn them. You have to wipe them away from your heart. If you must have a lasting relationship, if you must have a lasting marriage. Also, you determine in your heart that you're going to keep God's ordinances and your marriage vows. A lot of people go into the marriage with this notion that whatever happens, I'm coming out. Even if your life is not being threatened, you're going to be coming out. Or the man talks to you anyhow, you're going to leave the marriage. Or you're not getting certain expectations, you're going to leave the marriage. You should know that once you've made a vow to God, you made it in the presence of God, presence of the angels, witnesses, even here on earth, in front of your parents, your pastor, your siblings, so it should not be taken for granted. The Bible says that it is better you don't even make a vow than you make it and then break it. It is better that you didn't even vow, that on that day of the wedding you tell the pastor or priest or whoever that is joining you together that I am skipping this vow part. I am skipping it because I don't want to break it. It is better you're being open and honest. That's just the truth. That you make the vow and you didn't keep it. It's a disaster. And all these things comes from the heart. You must be prepared and determined in your heart first that you are not going to break your marital vow. You must be determined in your heart that you're not going to compromise your marriage. Because marriage is God's ordinance. Marriage is what God instituted by himself. You know why the devil is fighting marriages? You know why the devil is fighting your heart so you don't prepare well for it? Or putting fear in you is because the devil knows that once we have good marriages on earth, that his mission is cancelled, that his mission is voided. That's why he's fighting marriages. He knows that once a man and a woman comes together and raise a godly seed, that he is in trouble, that you're going to be bruising his head. He knows that if every marriage on earth is in peace, is in harmony, living in love, that he is doomed for life. That's why he's targeting marriages. That's why he has made it a point of duty to pull you down and make you to be scared, not to prepare your heart for it. Everything, the issues of life come from the heart. That's why you must be determined in your heart. You must prepare your heart for it. The heart is a crucial element when it comes to marriage. Not your head, not the physical or the financial part. Because some people are preparing for the wedding day, but not for the marriage. You must first prepare for your marriage before your wedding day. Your wedding day can just be any kind of event. You can plan it a day or two ahead of the date. But marriage, you must know that the devil is out for you. You must know that the devil does not like anything called godly marriage. He doesn't even like the name marriage at all. That's why you've seen all kinds of things, lesbianism, homosexuality, and everything. All kinds of marriage these days. Why? Because the devil is out there to target what God has established. When you are preparing your heart for marriage, you must deal with your personal issues. You must deal with your personal issues before you get into marriage. We have a lot of men and women in marriages that didn't deal with their personal issues and carried their problems into the marriage. You have unforgiveness, you have hatred spirits, you have all kinds of lying spirits, cheating spirits in you, and you didn't deal with it before you get into marriage. That marriage will be a disaster. That's just the truth. Because marriage will not make you better, it's going to enhance that behavior. It's going to expand it. That's why you must deal with it before you go into someone's life. Because you're going to be frustrating that person that is prepared in the marriage. Deal with your personal issues. Whatever issues you are having, deal with it first before you enter into marriage. Whatever it is, just deal with it. I'm going to give you a scenario. I'm going to use myself as an example. When I was getting ready for marriage, I prepared myself in all ramification, and the Lord showed me a woman that's going to be preparing me in certain areas. When we got in touch, she noticed that I wasn't smiling. That every day I would just frown my face. And I never knew that was a problem for me. I knew I used to smile a lot when I was little. But certain things happened in my family, the way they were treating me, about the way I laughed, that made me to hold myself and say, you know what? If laughing too much has become a problem, let me just not laugh anymore. Because I don't want any problem. I don't want any quarrel. Oh, you're laughing too much, and all that, all the wahala that comes with it. I said, you know what? I'm not going to laugh at all. So nobody will complain. But I didn't know that this was the beginning of my problem. I didn't know. It became an issue for me. And I carried it on for years without knowing. It was this woman that saw it and said, Chichi Mama, that's what she usually calls me. Why are you frowning your face? You don't laugh? I'm like, I don't laugh. What do you mean? She brought the mirror and said, look at your face. And I saw each time she looks at me, she would tell me, go to the mirror and see your face. And I'll be like, oh, this thing this woman is saying is true. But the way she was just bugging me, I was like, leave me alone. She was always concerned about my smile, that I don't smile. She would tell me, you're not going to attract any man like this with this kind of face. You don't smile. What's the problem? So I had to open up to her and tell her what the problem was. While I was growing up, the things that happened. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to buy you a pocket mirror. Put it in your bag. Sometimes just bring it out. You just look at it and smile. She did that for me, and I put it in my bag. Anywhere I go, just so that I will master the art of smiling again. I'll bring out the mirror. I'll look at myself. I'll just smile and put it back. I was practicing that. She told me, okay, if you're going, I just do like this. I started doing it. But you know that something that's no longer part of you is going to take time for you to adapt to that change. So one day, she kept on complaining for months about that, and I never got used to it. Maybe because I didn't take it so dearly. One day we went to the cobbler shop, and the guy had a problem with the woman I was with. He didn't do what he was supposed to do, and I was angry. And even I was angry on behalf of the woman, and the woman was still smiling, still sharing her anger and all that. And the guy looked at me and said, with this your face, you will never get married. Oh my goodness, that was the day that spirit left me. I was like, so this thing that this woman was saying was true. Imagine an outsider that never knew me. An outsider that just met me for that few seconds or few minutes is saying this. That means this is a serious problem. And that was the day that demon left. Why am I sharing this to you? This thing is a common something to somebody. It might mean nothing. It might be meaningless. But it was a problem for me. So that's why you must deal with your personal issues before you enter into marriage. You must deal with them. Go to God in prayer and deal with it. And once you deal with it, and you are sure that you've been delivered, what you have to do is to start practicing the opposite. That's the positive side that God has delivered you from. You have to start practicing the right thing. Because if you don't do practical, just do theory, you're not going to master it. You're going to start practicing what God has delivered you from. I remembered also when I have several issues while I was growing up and all that. My mom will complain about it. I'll take it to God in prayer. I'll tell God, I just want to be like you. Change me. I don't want this. I don't want this to hinder me in my marriage, because I saw my parents' marriage and I didn't like it. I wanted my own to be different. And each time they complain of any behavior, I take it to God in prayer immediately. I'm telling you the honest truth. And I'll tell God, be crying to God, I'll lock myself in my room and say, God, change me. Change me. I don't want to be a problem to my partner in the future. Because I knew what God has said about me, so I know where I'm going. I don't want to have a failed marriage. I wanted my marriage to be an example, a light to the world. I started tackling it at that tender age. I prayed. My favorite song was Change My Heart, oh God, make me ever true. That was my favorite song while growing up, because I just wanted to be like Jesus. I just wanted to talk like him. I just wanted to forgive like him. I just wanted to love like him, to walk like, to do everything like Jesus. That was my favorite song. I was singing those songs, praying and everything, till God changed and delivered me. I'm telling you, you must take those characters to God in prayer. And even if you're in the marriage and you made a mistake, you didn't deal with your personal issues, you didn't deal with your baggages, and you carried them into the marriage, it's not late. It's still not late for you. You can still deal with them. You can share with your partner so that your partner will help you. If you have a cheating husband, a cheating wife, open up. Instead of hiding, because secrecy is what the devil loves in marriage. Open up, tell your partner, see what I'm struggling with. There's no shame in it, because both of you are already naked. You are naked and unashamed. It's both of you. So your shame is his shame. Whatever you're dealing with is his or hers. So there is nothing like, oh, what is he going to think about me? You better deal with it before it becomes a public affair. Share with your partner. Let your partner know that you're struggling with this habit, and let him help you. Let her help you. If you know that you can't get your eyes off women or off men, tell him, look what I'm struggling with. You guys are going to figure it out. 2 heads are always better than 1. You will figure it out in no time. And before you know it, that head will be broken. Also determine that your marriage will work. While preparing your heart for marriage, you be determined that your marriage will work. Because the problem is that we are saying anything, several people will say, oh, whatever happens, I'm going to come out from the marriage. And the devil will use whatsoever to annoy you. The devil will use whatsoever to get you out from that marriage. Why? Because he got your heart. He got you first. He will suggest so many things inside of you. He will suggest so many things to you. He will even use your spouse to irritate you. He will use your spouse to annoy you, even the slightest thing that nobody will take offense for. You are going to take offense for it. That's why before you enter marriage, you must be prepared that your marriage is going to work. You must put God first. Without God, your marriage cannot work. The devil will always be the chief in that marriage. That's why you must not neglect the significance of God in every marriage. God is the author of marriage, and he is the only one that can teach you the right way to do marriage. He is the only one that can teach you the way to go about it. You can't just produce something and somebody else is telling you how to manage that product. No. It's the originator that knows how it will function. It's the originator that will tell you, this is it, this is how to handle it, this is how to go about it. Else you just be misusing that product. Remember that you have to build your walk with God. It is very important. If you don't have a personal relationship with God, you must be determined in your heart that in your marriage, God will be the number one. No matter the amount of wealth that God gives you, you're not going to leave God behind. That's a mistake that so many people have made. They've been praying, God, give me husband, give me wife. When God answers it and blesses you with the things of life, then you back out. You forget God. You know, I have so many children. I'm so busy and all that. And God will be watching you. So I gave you all this so that you won't follow me. I gave you all this so that you can't even have 1 minute of prayer with me anymore. And God will be so disappointed. Do not let the Holy Spirit leave your marriage. Once the Holy Spirit leaves your marriage, that's when your marriage starts crashing. You must not neglect the importance of the Holy Spirit in marriage. The importance of having God in marriage. Start early to prepare. Those of you watching me that are not yet married, start early to prepare for it. Go for seminars, go for counseling, whatsoever fear that you have. Take it to God in prayer. Do whatever you have to do to get yourself prepared. Because the enemy is out there targeting marriage. That's just the truth. He doesn't want you to be happy. He doesn't want you to be flourishing in your marriage. That's why he's there to fight you. No matter the challenge you're facing in life, always take it to God. And after you take it to God, you act on it. Act on what you've prayed about. And you see you have positive changes. Also be prepared for the worst and the best. Because many of you went into marriage thinking it would be all rosy. That's not always the case. There might be times that you have ups and downs in marriage. So you have to be prepared for it too. So when the worst come, how do you handle it? The way you are enjoying the best, it should be the way you should prepare and deal with the worst when it comes. So do not back out on your marriage. Do not allow the devil to win. Do not allow what happened to your parents' marriage happen to you again. If you know your parent has a faulty foundation, you have to break it before you enter marriage. Else that foundation will be following you. I knew so many foundation on ancestral curses I had to break in my life because I didn't want to have this kind of marriage my parents had. So it's something that you must deal with. You must take it personal to God. Thank you for today. I hope we've learned something. Our topic was preparing your heart for marriage. And please, even after this video, share it to your friends. Share it to someone that you know will be a beneficiary. And the Lord will continue to bless you all. I love you guys. And I will see you next month. If you have any question also, please you leave in the comment section below. And I'll take my time to answer them. God bless you all. Bye-bye.